Good morning. We have very little news at the moment. BOE bank rates at 7 o'clock. That was a half an hour ago. ECB's Lane speaks. 8:30, we have the U.S. initial jobless claims. 8:30, Canadian PPI month over month. And the U.S. Philly Fed Business Index. Continued jobless claims, leading index change month over month. Nat gas changes at 10:30. And the 4-week bill is at 11:30, the high yield and the bill to cover, or bid to cover. So far, all we got. Now they're saying the deadline for the Iran-U.S. final deal can be extended by mutual agreement. Bank rates remained at 3.75. And Israel is holding quote unquote stubborn negotiations with the U.S. over its presence in southern Lebanon. So that's the news for this morning. About all I can deal with. Hey Angie, good morning. How you doing today? I picked up some Top Step accounts last night. Ended up getting 3 of them. I had a couple of credits with Top Step. I don't know how or why, but I decided to use them. Got 3 accounts, and I am up for the day. I've only been trading them a day, but yeah, I'm up a little bit for the day. So right now, NQ is in pretty strong. Well, no. Let's look to the left a little. Now it's below the active point of control, above Asia session VWAP. At midnight price. London low was created somewhere within the last half hour or so. 25 minutes. Previous day's value area lows at 30,338.25. Today is going to be a great day for everyone. We have no FOMC. Oh, excuse me. All right, what do we got? YM. YM's looking like it's a pretty strong down here, way below VWAP. Playing with that second deviation band down below. Highest volume since 1 a.m. has been at 52,214. I believe it was yesterday, we made another all-time high on YM. Yes, it was yesterday. So made an all-time high, came down off of that pretty significantly. And now it's just inching its way up and coming down, inching its way up and coming down. Really don't like Top Step. My first payout from Top Step, it took me 8 months to get it. What? I had that issue with another, with a different prop firm and couldn't stand them. Top Step has always been pretty prompt with their payouts. All right, did you make money yesterday, FOMC? So kind of a mixed bag. I made money on some accounts and I lost money on other accounts. All in all, I think in total I was down probably about 650 if I just added up all the accounts together. But some of them were up, some of them were down. It was just I didn't trade or I didn't copy all of my accounts together at the same time. That would have been silly on an FOMC day. You're in two shorts at 490 and still holding? You had 3 micros long and now you're short. All right. Morning, Czar. Yeah, entire Asia session. Point of control is sitting up at 75.91 on ES. We're at the -1 deviation band right now. We're looking for shorts while under VWAP, but we do have point of control sitting up at 755. That's the active point of control on the 15. The session point of control, or I'm sorry, the yesterday's point of control up at 775.89.25. Left my coffee sitting over there. I think I need to go get it. It's like 9 feet away from me on the other side of the room, and that is way too far away for my coffee to be. Yeah, we got nothing in the news. I looked at it again just to see. I was thinking there'd be at least something. After Trump signs Iran deal, stocks rise and oil falls. Well, yeah, we saw that coming. And as of 7:06, the U.S. won't impose any new sanctions pending a final deal. And the U.S. to terminate all Iran sanctions under final deal. U.S. partners to develop a $300 billion Iran reconstruction plan. Sounds great. Nice, Angie. Taking your profits and scaling out of this trade. You just leaving what, one runner on, two runners on? Took one out. So you were in with three, right? Had 3 micros long. Oh no, you had 2 shorts at 490. So you're leaving one runner. I like it. Get rid of. So if price gets down around here, I'll start looking at longs back up to VWAP on ES. Bookmap right now has got orders all the way down to, make sure this is on the right contract. I don't want to do what I did yesterday and be looking at the M's. This is where Bookmap has most of its orders underneath. It's at 75.20. That's the big block of orders. There's another relatively large block of orders at 75.14 and 75.15. So I'm comfortable putting in a long right here. Reason for that is coming back up toward VWAP, active point of control, and all the volume is right up here. Mustang. I prefer mustard. Dave will be fine. Yeah, yeah, he took a pretty big loss yesterday. Didn't cut his trade in time. Decided to hold on to it and hope, but I mean, it happens. Happens to everybody. It happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Ended up taking a $600 loss on a trade that I should not have been holding. Actually, it's not that I shouldn't have been holding it. I should have cut it a lot earlier than I did. This 2-minute chart. Yeah, Dave and I both had a pretty shitty day yesterday. Like I said, I know yesterday across the board I was down about 600, up on some, down on the others. But overall it was a loss for the day, which again, it happens. But Dave is a big boy and he knows how to come back from from a day of shitty trading. Let's see. So Angie, you said you were having issues with Top Step. Do you still use them at all, or did you just cut them out of your baskets? Good Lord, Angie. You full ported 5 evals and 3 fundeds yesterday and passed and reached max profits. Haven't used Top Step for 3 to 4 years already. You're just using Tradeify and Lucid now. Acceptable. They're both solid. I like both Tradeify and Lucid. Lucid's got great rules. Tradeify is really quick with their payouts. I'm not jumping into any trades right now. I really want to try and long this up to VWAP, but I ain't doing it. Not today. Took me less than 1 hour to take payouts from Tradeify. I've had payouts hit from Tradeify in 15 minutes, which is unheard of. Somebody's going to be happy I'm looking at a 15-second chart here. Yeah, they are fast. Tradeify is definitely fast with the payouts. All right, I got questions for people. Angia, are you using VWAP? Are you using ICT stuff? What is it you're using to your strategy for entering and exiting trades? I'm curious. Stopped out green. All right. It's a way to go. So only use VWAP and anchor VWAP. All right. How about you, Czar? What have you been using? I have my own level. I used to trade with higher time frame, like 4 hours in daily charts. I do DCA as well, but only Asia and London session. I trade level from levels. Where are you getting your levels from? Are they are you using like the point of control, high and low at day, pivot points? Yeah, I'd like to see that. I was curious about your trading, just for your Asia and London session, what it is that you've been doing. You only trust the boxes you draw. Fair enough. I dig that. Things are may have disappeared. Still lurking? Nice. So what are you using for your technicals? You're using VWAP, ICT, liquidity pools, moon cycles, star charts. I've been using moon cycles lately, in case you're wondering. During a full moon, I want to take werewolf trades. Hit that high volume bar right here at 75.41. Now, if this continues to go up and goes through VWAP, I'm going to end up taking it to this, or trying to take it to 75.56. Next high volume bar, but I got to wait for it to get up above VWAP. All right. Good morning, Skeletor. I don't take trades randomly. I am kind of a reversal trader. I only trade when the price reaches into your boxes. The simpler you are, the more money you make. That's what I believe. I am extremely simple, so I should be rich soon. I'll be like Gordon Gecko. Good morning, Skeletor. Anybody in any trades yet this morning? So I'm looking at Angio's 1 hour, 1 hour and 4 hour gaps on the Discord right now. And Angie, did you just find these yourself and mark them up throughout the day and trade them during London session? Not this morning, but last night I did on Tokyo session. Nice. Skeletor's flat now. Czar's flat. Yeah, I got really nothing right now. Still just gonna wait. This is the patience game. Need to get a fun guest on this morning. I will be back in 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Again on Bookmap. NQ's looking like it's got some orders just above the current price, but not a whole lot going on the Bookmap. It's pretty dark all over the place. ES seems to have quite a bit more volume, or quite a bit more resting orders. More buying volume balls right now. Skeletor, we got news in 20 minutes. Let me look. Canadian PPI, month over month, and the US Philly Fed Business Index, both at 8:30. And jobless claims, US continued jobless claims. So those are coming up in 19 minutes. It's so tempting to take this long up to VWAP, but I'm not going to. Somebody talk me out of it. All right. Is it going to get above VWAP? Somebody quick, make a tweet. Ooh, you know what we should do is check what oil is doing right now. Oil has been dropping. Came up a little bit, but right back down. Don't want to try and get into an oil trade right now at all. To come back down to the Asia session VWAP. 715. Oh, yeah. Well, oil is a no-go. Let's look at gold. Ooh, lower volume, price pushed down, coming back up towards that first deviation band. We are almost at the point of control at 42.8550. And we have VWAP up above us at 43.07. Before I trade gold, I like to get Rebecca Trade's opinion on whether I'm in the correct position or not. I don't really, but it would be a good idea. Correct me if I'm wrong, but value area low on NQ is at 30,284. Let's take a look. Actually, we'll make this easy and just pull up Austin's indicator. Previous day's value area low, 30,339.25. NQ has just been bouncing around. We are at the working point of control right now, which is actually pretty close to previous day's point of control. If I was looking at NQ a little closer, I may have taken a long off of this this VWAP. Probably would have got stopped out though. Not gonna lie, I probably would have got stopped out. I'm not saying up or down today, but oil can head down and the market can still tank. You are absolutely correct. It could. Especially in the market we're in right now, unless there's like some serious news about war in Iran, Strait of Hormuz, Russia blowing up oil rigs, something like that, then yeah, it could. Generally speaking, though, if oil goes up, everything else goes down, generally speaking. But with the volatility right now, YM's hit all-time highs yesterday. NQ and ES have been hitting all-time highs at least once a week for the past couple of months now. There is no reason to take a short trade on NQ or ES or YM based on the price of oil moving. Pay attention to when the news comes out, but in all honesty, news comes out, take the trade on oil. Why use oil as just your indicator for whether or not another index is going to go up or down? All right, taking my NQ long here. What the heck just happened? I got stopped out. I don't know what just happened there. Oh, I had this set up for ES, not NQ. Well, that was a screw up on my part. Hey, good morning, Primo. How you doing? Aventura. Hmm. So what's everybody looking at this morning? NQ, YM, ES, gold, lean hogs. Kind of liking lean hogs right about now. I actually just want a pulled pork sandwich. It's a breakfast of champions. Yep, we got NQ approaching VWAP. Pull up MNQ. We're up above the midnight price now. We are above Asia session VWAP. I am edging higher on the 15. Oh, is that what you're talking about? Getting close to VWAP? Sorry about that. Oh yeah, there we go. YM did break VWAP. It's pushing up above it. Let's look at the 5-minute. Yeah, this has been kind of a mixed bag for YM for Asia and London. All right, we got 3 minutes until jobless claims. So NQ is 100 points above VWAP, and YM is hovering at VWAP news in a few minutes. Yeah. So maybe not the best time to get into a trade right at a news event, but I don't think this is going to be real high impact news. In fact, I'm going to lock myself out. For 5 minutes. So I can't take any trades for 5 minutes. Wait for this news to get done. If I miss out on a VWAP break or rejection, then I do. Skeletor's going to unlock himself. You dirty bird. Not sure what you're thinking there. So I have been thinking about getting an audio alert for high volume trades and attaching it to my trading view. Only for very high volume trades and seeing if I can link it, or not link it, but if there's some way I can get Bookmap to actually alert me when an iceberg order comes on. I really do like using the icebergs as a draw on liquidity, and they seem to work out pretty damn well. Skeletor just one micro this morning safely. Economic numbers in line, not bad. Cool. I do like when you lock yourself out. It tells you things like keyboard confiscated, ego is cooling down. Shit, it's never ego. Usually it's I lock myself out because lack of self-control or not wanting to just forget that I shouldn't be in a trade, something like that. That tends to be my reasoning behind it. Never get an ego about trading. I've been kicked in the teeth way too many times. And anybody who's been trading for more than a minute and a half and says that they've never taken big losses or anything like that is a liar and a scoundrel. And you should not believe a word they say. Not ever. Not no way, not no how. All right, let's get back on the 15. Or I'm sorry, on the 5, off the 15. Again, I'm not hating the YM. And NQ is looking good. Pull up Austin's indicator again, see what levels they have marked out on that. Point of control is below us from previous day, and the active point of control is also below us. Active point of control sitting at 30,425. And previous day's value area highs at 30,504.75. We're above VWAP, not doing anything but longs on NQ if I do anything. And that's a big if. Got divorced in 1993 for taking too much risk. Swings were too much for her. That sounds like a double intender. Entendre, double intender. I don't know. My French isn't that good. I don't know how to say entendre. You're still flat. When? Totally kidding. Totally kidding. Flat's not a bad place to be right now. News is over and done with, but don't have a whole hell of a lot of movement. It's a slow grind up. Look at the hour for a minute. And we're above definitely above yesterday's close. We're above midnight price. We're above VWAP, above the point of control. Longs don't look too bad. They're looking all right to me. Not very exciting, I know, but this is the slow movement of the day. All right, I need some more coffee. I'll be back. Yes, I do. I know that if ES, NQ, and YM are all going in the same direction and it's a strong trend, I'm taking my trade in that direction. When they start to diverge, I'm going to get out of that trade. Or if I'm not in one, I'm going to look for who's leading and who's following. I've seen a lot of the time in a trend, something will stop moving, NQ will stop going up when they're all moving in the same direction. NQ stops and starts to pull back. 5-10 minutes later, ES does the same thing. How about yourself, Primo? It is 8:42. Hopefully we get a little bit more action in the New York session, and I'm sure we will. I've actually been tempted to do this live stream at 3 a.m. New York time. Since I'm awake at that time anyway, most of the time. And I seem to be doing better at that time. Yesterday, I got my top step accounts up. I got these accounts yesterday, and I'm up like, I think, 1,000. 1562.16. Oh, that's right. I stopped. I closed out my trades on that because of the consistency rule. That's what that was. Yes, some people use divergences differently. I don't understand how most people do it. I know what I've seen. Whether it's correct or not, or whether it'll work for you, I have no idea. But it does seem to work for me pretty well. That's one of the reasons why I like Austin's indicator. It shows you your well, you can put whatever you want in here, but ES, NQ, and YM. During the New York session, it'll tell you whether it's over or under VWAP. It'll tell you the overnight VWAP, previous day's New York VWAP, low of day, and high of day VWAP. And then it tells you the trend. Now, the trend thing, I like to look back on it myself and just see, simply because that trend is going to show you whether or not it is over VWAP and higher than the Asia Open. So when it says it's mixed here, and strong down here, these are all, they're not matching up. But they're all above high of day and low of day VWAP, and ES and NQ are both above overnight VWAP. So use your indicators, but don't trust them completely. Look back, look to the left. I've been saying that a lot lately. Look to the left. If you look to the left, you know this has been choppy since 2:45 a.m. Actually, it does look choppy. It's been 100-point moves though. catching those 100-point moves is sometimes a little tricky. So this bounce off of VWAP. From VWAP, we've moved up 81 points so far on NQ. But we're back up to a level that we were at previously in the day. So previous day's value area high, the London high. Let's see if it rejects off of this and comes down. We do have the second deviation band over here and the initial balance. So look at a 1 hour chart. Yesterday's initial balance is essentially the same as, well, close to London high. It's crazy that we use the same indicators, just different terminology. It's not crazy. I do not have the experience that you do. I have not been trading since '86. Shit, I didn't graduate high school until the '90s. I don't have the same experience as you, and the terminology, I don't know it all. Shit, 99% of the indicators on my TradingView platform, I open those up and I look at them and my eyes go glaze over a little bit and I don't know what most of them are. Nor do I care to. Is there anything specific that you were referring to when it comes to the terminology? I like learning new words. Skeletor's still flat, waiting for New York to open. Probably not the worst idea I've heard today. But I noticed the similarities on what I call market profile used by all the floor traders back in the day. Elaborate. Looking at like previous day's high, things like that. Value area highs, value area lows. Yeah, Primo, when it comes to trading, I'm pretty damn new to this. When it comes to futures, I've been trading futures for 19 months or so. Value is the key. The idea is the bell curve on most days, meaning rotation up and down. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. And the way that I look at that too is, yeah, it's going to be a bell curve. But let me get rid of some of this garbage on here. Well, leave the volume on. You got time, you got volume, you got price. Those are the three things that should always be in your head: time, volume, and price. So you got a bell curve. It keeps moving up, it keeps moving down. VWAP seems to be the center of gravity for everything. It's going to come back to and react with VWAP. It's going to come to the point of control, which is the highest volume area at any given time. So you have price over time, and then you have your anchors, VWAP and volume. Those are the things that I like to look at the most. So I know right now we're above VWAP. It's been in this trend since 7:45, so for an hour. Not a very strong trend. It hasn't had huge moves up. If you look at the line on VWAP, there's no upswing to it. It's been in a choppy range following that bell curve. VWAP down here comes up to the second deviation band, comes back down toward VWAP through the first deviation band, comes back up to the second, comes back down to VWAP, and goes back up. This point of control and VWAP seem to be where like all the volume is right here. On NQ, it's 30,424.30. That is where all that volume was. VWAP keeps pulling price back down to it, pulling to it, pulling to it. And if it's above VWAP and in a trend, and you see that, for me, and this is just how I trade it, if I see this VWAP line turns into a skateboard ramp, I can't be short. And most likely I'm gonna get into a long very, very quickly. 19 months. Congrats, Nick. I just started since March of this year. I still got a lot to learn, making progress. Yeah, we all do. And I am not, I mean, technically I am a professional. I get paid. I pay myself to do this. So yeah, I still got a lot to learn. I would love to have a discussion with you one morning. You can bring me on the panel. Hell yeah. How about next week? Same theory. We use price more than volume. Price pays. That is, I mean, when it gets down to brass tacks, price pays. Your indicator doesn't pay you. Your VWAP doesn't pay you. The price of the asset pays you. If you buy high and sell higher, you're getting paid. And that's based on price. But the direction that price is going to move in is more easily, it's easier to figure out where that price is going to move if you know where the volume is and where VWAP is. That's why I like the deviation bands. It takes a lot to get through the second deviation band. And once it does, it's in price discovery and there's no telling where it's going to go. So if it gets above the second deviation band, again, generally I'm going to take a long on a pullback and trail my stop. Because by the time it gets through that second deviation band, if it's in a strong trend with a good push up, this VWAP line is going to start coming up. The volume is going to start moving up as well. You're going to end up with higher volume nodes as it's going up, and those higher volume nodes are going to be up at that current price. And if I'm wrong about any of this, primo, let me know. Because, like I said, I've been trading futures for 19 months. Reversion to the mean. Yep. Yeah, on most days. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm just a dumbass who trades futures. I'm not, I'm not doing quant analysis or anything like that. No, I'm not that good at math. But I am profitable. And I'm pretty simple in my trading. And I'm pretty simple myself, so I'm not going to lie. But simple seems to work. If I have to have 500 lines on my chart to tell me what level is going to go where and where it's going to bounce, and no, it's not going to work for me. I'm going to get distracted by it. I'm going to end up with analysis paralysis. I'm going to sit there and stare at this chart during the New York session and wonder, should I or should I not? Now I know, bounce off of VWAP during the New York session. I'm going to wait for a second confirmation, and then I'm going to take a long. And if it goes in my direction, I'll move my stop into profit and I'll let it go. And I'll continue moving my stop up so that way I don't leave a ton of money on the table. If it pulls back, I'm going to try and be happy with what I made. And if I lose, I'm going to just try and accept it and wait for the next trade. What you're explaining right now is the heart of everything in trading, simple to understand. I mean, it's the heart of everything for my trading. Yeah, 75% of the days it's reversion to the mean, which is VWAP. Wow, earlier when I said I wouldn't mind taking a long off that VWAP bounce on the NQ, now I'm wishing I would have. Jeez. We're up 124 points off of VWAP. Ooh, fun fact of the day. Let's do a fun fact. It can be quite mechanical on the daily, hard to stay focused. Ritalin helps, or just massive amounts of caffeine. So the number one fun fact of the day, number one apex predator in the ocean, everyone knows, is the orca whale. Orca whales will attack great white sharks, rip their livers out and eat them, and leave the rest of the carcass. They only eat the liver on the great white shark. Now, there are lots of theories. The liver is really a nutrient-dense organ for the orcas to eat. The other one is they just don't like great white sharks because they will just attack them when they see them for no reason. The orca is the reason why predators in the ocean, their population stays under control, all because of the orca. The weird thing about an orca whale, in the North Atlantic, a regular part of their diet is moose. A land-dwelling mammal, moose. Come to find out, orca have figured out how to get into very shallow water. Shallow for an orca, which is a little bit deep for a moose, but the moose in northern Canada, Maine, places like that, they like to eat the seagrass that grows in the ocean. They will step out there and they'll actually swim out a little ways, dive down and eat the seagrass. When the orcas figured this out, they'll take 2 or 3 of them and basically run in as fast as they can, or swim in as fast as they can, attack the moose, pull them underwater, drown them, and then carry them out to sea. This is why I don't swim in the North Atlantic. Orca are scary. They've also been tipping over yachts in the Atlantic Ocean recently. It's like they don't like small yachts, but it's like they don't like billionaires or something. So that's the fun fact for the day. How are they with polar bears? An orca will mess up a polar bear. A polar bear is an apex predator and is considered both a land and a sea mammal. And there are very few things that will take out a polar bear. But an orca is one of them. They rarely come across each other, but if they do, the orcas will win that. They'll win that battle. There's nothing in the ocean that orca whales are actually hunted by. Sperm whales will dive thousands of meters down to attack giant squid. Sperm whales see orcas, they turn tail and get the hell out of there. Great white sharks, same thing. Everybody remembers Jaws, and they think the great white shark is the most deadly thing in the ocean. It's not. It's the orca. And unfortunately for people my age and older, the only thing that we remember or really know about orcas is SeaWorld, Shamu. Oh, look, they trained him. You can stand on his nose. Yeah, until he kills you. Gets fed up and decides that he's going to push you down to the bottom of the pool and just drown you for funsies. Mustang is the yeah, not quite. Isn't that Willie? Yes, Willie was an orca whale. Free Willie. Yeah, Free Willie, because you don't want to get in a tank with him. Chew your arms off and just stare at you. The orca whale is basically the serial killer of the sea. Also, they're excessively intelligent. They hunt in packs, and they figure out new ways to hunt different species all the time. That's a kind of intelligence that, in my opinion, sea life shouldn't have. All right, so we got a rejection here off of that second deviation band, pulling back down toward VWAP again. Again, it's 9:05 a.m., so I don't want to be in a trade right now. But again, what Primo and I were just going back and forth about. You got this level here. It's the second deviation band on VWAP. It hit it. It played with it for a minute. It went through it, and now it's pulling back down and heading toward VWAP and the active point of control. I mean, it works. Chris Drysdale taught me that, actually. If anybody is looking for a good VWAP book, Chris Drysdale has a VWAP wave book. You know what? I'm going to go grab it. Or I'm going to go grab my Kindle so I can actually give you the title of it. Yeah, Willie was freed. The VWAP wave system. Day trade the futures market with structure. If anyone's looking for a really good book on VWAP, that's the one that I always recommend, is Chris Drysdale's VWAP wave system. Brian Shannon as well. I don't, let me see if I have it in here. Oh, my fingers are not working well today. Hmm. It's not showing me the Brian Shannon book, and I don't know why. Brian Shannon has one book called Technical Analysis Using Multiple Time Frames. I haven't read that one yet. He was on PFM this morning. Yeah, he's great. Should definitely read that book if you're interested in VWAP trading at all. Oh, Brian Shannon's book is called Anchored VWAP. That's it. So Brian Shannon and Chris Drysdale, those are my two book recommendations. J. Peter Stedelmeyer. Oh, yeah, okay. I have not read anything of his. I do know the name. All right, I just downloaded his book, Stedelmeyer on Markets, Trading with Market Profile. Thank you. I will read that tonight. Appreciate it, Primo. All right. It is currently 10 minutes after 9. We've done the book review, done the fact of the day, talked about VWAP. VWAP seems to be my favorite subject. Someday I'm going to learn some of that ICT stuff. We got book suggestions from Primo. You know, I go through these books, like, if I read them, I'm done with them in an evening. So if you have any more, feel free to put them in the chat. And frankly, anything that helps anybody with their trading, I'm more than happy to promote. Whether it's Drysdale's or Brian Shannon's or Austin's courses, things like that. Any of that stuff. If it helps, we'll happily throw it up there. Primo, he's been trading since you were knee high to a grasshopper. Been visiting to see how I can help you. Well, I mean, we all need all the help we can get. Before I log out of here, I am going to just check Forex Factory for any updates on news. Central banks are raising borrowing costs. That's all we got. We already went over the U.S. unemployment, or jobless claims. That's all we got. Yeah, that would be a lot to unpack. So I think next week I'm gonna have Primo come on here and we'll do a podcast style discussion while we're trading, if you don't mind. So during the week, if anybody has any questions they want to ask them, send them to me in the Discord, and I will have a whole bunch of questions ready for Primo, whether it's about the 1987 crash when he started trading, or volume profile, market structure, whatever it is, terminology. What if he uses Mr. Zog's sex wax on his head? You know, simple stuff. And for those of you who don't know, Mr. Zog's is surfboard wax. Who is this kook? Market butcher. Try to pick the slowest time to have me on. We'll nail down the day as we go. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, when I come on, it is generally slow as hell. So every once in a while we get some volume and movement, but this early, when I start in the morning, it's pretty dead. Haven't you used to go to the surf shop and smell the wax? Of course you did. You have a palm tree on your profile picture, so I'm just going to assume that you're a surfer. And yeah, Mr. Zoggs does smell great. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes or so when I come back on this live stream. But until then, stay safe today.